Okay, so here is the part 4 Boldtrail tutorial on how to make a campaign. So campaigns are like drip campaigns, emails, text messages. So this is your dashboard, okay? You would want campaigns to be set up on every one of your clients, whether that is a holiday campaign, a birthday campaign, first-time homebuyer campaign, a seller campaign. You get the gist? So that's what campaigns are. So on the left-hand side, you're going to click marketing. Okay, so click marketing and scroll down and you will hit your smart campaigns. Okay, or you can use the Omni search bar at the top and click edit campaign. Okay, so that campaign will help you with okay, so here are your here are all of my campaigns. As you can see, I have the 90 days follow up for a rental. I have the holiday campaign for 2026. I have, if you can scroll through, buyers campaigns, renters campaigns, Rico guides, birthday messages. Again, you get creative. So if you would like to start making campaigns, I think today we are going to go through a first-time home buyer campaign. So what we're going to do is use ChatGPT. So open up ChatGPT on the on another tab, and we're going to use it because a lot of people struggle with writing emails, and I can't make this tutorial an hour long, so we're going to use ChatGPT. So we are going to click the add campaign on the right hand side. Okay, click it, and this is what you're going to see. So it should say your name and it'll tell you when this campaign will start. So whether the campaign's going to start when a lead is new, a contact is transferred, a hashtag is. Remember, campaigns can only be started if you've added your contacts. Okay, so your contacts have to be added. They have to have the right type, whether they are a buyer or a seller, and they have to be the journey. So whether they're in the sphere, the prospect. Okay, so for a first-time home buyer, we're going to use the advanced trigger option. So the advanced trigger option gives me a little bit more flexibility. So what I'm going to do is scroll all the way down the field, and I'm going to click status. So click status, and it's going to say status is, and you're going to click client. So when you add a contact, you are going to make sure that their journey is a client, not an active lead, not a prospect, a client. We're going to add another trigger, hashtag, and it's going to say, you're going to write first time homebuyer, one word, first time homebuyer. Okay, so when your client is a client, when the status is client, and when their hashtag is a first-time homebuyer, this campaign will start. Okay, I hope everyone understands that. Then we leave these functions on. So always run is yes, because they can have multiple campaigns on at the same time. Locked is no, leave it like that. And now you click next at the bottom. Who is this campaign designed for? So the campaign is going to be designed for buyers, not sellers, not renters, not agents, buyers. And you're going to name it a first-time home buyer campaign. Okay, you can name it whatever you want. I'm going to do first-time home buyer campaign. I'm putting a test because I have multiple ones already. The campaign description, this is for you, so you can obviously write, closing costs associated with first-time homebuyers, letting my first-time homebuyers, know about closing costs, giving referrals, inspectors, mortgage brokers, lawyers. So right here I'm writing notifying my clients on costs associated with buying your first home, referrals for mortgage brokers, inspectors, and lawyers. And then you're going to leave always run yes and locked no. And click next. Okay, so reviewing the campaign. It's set for me. It is when a status is client, a hashtag is first time home buyer. It's for buyers. It has my name. It has the description. And now we're going to click finish. Once we click finish, it doesn't mean that your clients are going to start getting emails, because there is no actions that we made for this campaign yet. You didn't write an email, you didn't do a text message. So what we're going to do is now add the beef and potatoes to the campaign. So scroll down your campaigns and find the title that you just made. So first time homebuyer campaign test was mine. I'm going to click it open. So click the blue letters, and you can see that the campaign is not active because we don't have any actions. So let's do add an action, and you could do email, text message, task, call, which task would be for you, set a reminder for yourself. So let's click email. Okay, remember, ChatGPT is open. So we're gonna write an email for, if I had a first-time home buyer, it would be to let them know about any associated closing costs. So I'm gonna write the subject line as first time, I'm changing it, sorry, buying your home, ... Again, this can be custom to you. You can write anything you want. So I'm just removing this. It's going to be buying your first home and what you need to know. You could put an emoji. You can get creative. You can switch the font. You can switch the size. So now, because I need a quick email right now, and to show you guys, let's ask ChatGPT. I'm going to copy and paste the subject line, and I'm going to ask ChatGPT to write me a email with the associated subject line. You should look it over, edit it, make it your own. Don't just rely on it with the first message it gives you. Okay, so I am asking it to write me an email, just to show you guys a quicker way. If you want to sit there and write your own email, you should do that for sure. Okay, so it's going to give me an email, and I'm going to copy and paste it into the Boldtrail. Okay, so now we're pasting it here, and let's go through it. So I'm removing all those extra, what would those be called? Those hyphens, those thicker hyphens. It's just a way, that's how you know it's ChatGPT. So again, first closing costs is down payment, okay? Second closing costs, land transfer tax, okay? That's true. Again, you can read through each one of these, and if you feel comfortable with what it says, leave it. So after this land transfer tax, I would hyperlink a land transfer tax calculator so that buyers can calculate their own land transfer tax, again, to know what the closing costs should be. We'll get back to the hyperlink and how to do that. So legal fees and disbursements, I would link or write in my lawyer's recommendation. So I'm just putting the stars so that you can, either you do your own, you can do whatever you want. A home inspection, I'm going to also add a home inspector recommendation. I'm going to remove the appraisal fee. That's my personal choice. I'm going to remove mortgage insurance. That's something that they can discuss with their mortgage broker. I'm going to make the necessary changes to the numbers. The adjustments I may leave in. If it's rented, it'll all be adjusted. The lawyer will tell them that. Moving and setup costs. I don't like this little word, so I'm just going to remove that. So what I would put in the down payment area, I would say if they haven't gotten a pre-approval, this is where I would then link my mortgage broker referrals. Okay, and this is just for you to link your own. I'm not giving you ideas. Okay, so now let's hyperlink the land transfer tax calculator. So if you're logged on to Treb and PropTX, I want you to go to the home page, and you could go under tools, or I would just type in land transfer tax calculator in the search bar. That's why I like PropTX, the homepage. It has everything, all these extra tools that a lot of agents don't even know about. So I'm going to click the hyperlink where it says click here. They have commercial and residential, so let's do residential, and this is the calculator. So you can even put first-time homebuyer. So copy and paste the URL, Command C is copy, and then go back to Boldtrail and highlight what I wrote there. And so you're gonna highlight that and then use the chain icon right there. The chain icon is hyperlink. So paste the URL, Command V, and then text to display. I'm gonna change the way it looks, so land transfer tax calculator, and press save. And now if it's purple, you know it is hyperlinked. So any buyer that clicks that will open the land transfer tax page right there. Okay? So that's how you hyperlink. So don't forget, at the beginning of your email, you have to, obviously say hi, insert name. So you can code their name. So you type hi space, and then you see the sun icon. So if you do lead, you hover over lead, and you go all the way to the top and you do first name. You put a comma, so it's hi, and then it grabs their first name from whoever you're sending this email to. So every contact that you have, it grabs the name. Okay? So let's say you're happy with this email. Okay? Your signature is always added at the bottom. You don't have to do it. You have to name this action. So this action is just like you're emailing. So emailing class, right? They don't see that. It's just for you. From an agent, obviously you're the agent, to the contact. And then run immediately means that as soon as your contact is added into your system and they are a client and they have a hashtag first-time homebuyers, that this email will be sent right away. Maybe give it some time. So I'm going to do 3 hours. Okay, so you click hours and then 3. And you also have to obviously look it over and then add a template name. So again, you can name it whatever you want. I'm just going to do first-time homebuyer email cost. This is just for me to remember. And then you save the changes. So this is only one action. I only have one action. I can continuously add actions, like a text, a task, and another email. So if I add a task, I can put the task as maybe, start a search alert, start a prospect search. Okay? So I'm going to write add search alerts to, and then if you see I highlight that fancy bracket right there, that fancy bracket. So I don't know if you can see that, but if you see when I'm typing, it pops up like the coding of the names. So if you type in full name, so add search alerts to things profile, it'll say whoever's profile, and I'm just writing like realm prospect search. So it's like a reminder. Tasks can be a reminder for yourself. Tasks can be to do, right? And then I'm going to give it hours. And so if the other one was 3 hours, this one I'll do 4. Okay? Or 5. Give the template name. And then save. Okay? Another sort of idea that I can give you is maybe for first-time homebuyers, you can continuously send out tips. Right? That'd be kind of cool. So if you go to ChatGPT and ask him or her for a couple of tips for first-time homebuyers, I think it'd be pretty cool for buyers to maybe get tips sent to their phone, like on a text or an email. I may actually make that into a real campaign for myself, but don't max out your budget, stick to your plan is a nice tip. Or ask questions. There are no silly ones. It's just, it's just another idea, getting creative with these campaigns. So I'm going to do the ask questions as another action. So let's do an email. And let's do subject line, first-time homebuyer tips. You can do whatever you want. And I'm going to copy and paste it into there. This is too plain for me. I like to see my font at least at 14 points. I also like Georgia font, which I haven't changed here, but I like Georgia font. I don't like the system font. So change it if you like. And you have to give a header, so you're going to write real estate tips. Okay, so this I'm just showing that you could either make these tips into emails or text messages. Remember that if you're doing a text message, it doesn't come from your phone, it comes from the smartphone number that's on the top right corner of your icon picture. So again, you have to name it emailing tips from the agent to the contact. And then if this is a part of the same campaign, obviously do it 7 days after the first email that went out, right? You don't want to bombard them. And then just give the template name first time homebuyer tip 1 and save it. So once you save it, you see the actions you have, you see that this will only start when the status is client and hashtag is first time homebuyer. You also have to make it active in order for this to actually go on. It probably won't go on to the contacts you already have. So then you would click yes. Okay, so make sure it's on. And that is how you, I'm turning it off because I already have a ton. But I just gave myself good ideas with the first time homebuyer tips. I like that. That is how you do a campaign. That's just one idea for a campaign. I hope you can go back in this and follow along. There will be a part 2 to this campaign, how to make a campaign, because I have some other good ideas in terms for birthdays and things like that. So you can have the system text you your clients' birthdays. I also have a lot of good campaigns. Maybe I'll put the tokens in the caption, and you can copy and paste the tokens into the add campaign section, and it's right next to it, and you'll just copy and paste it in there. Okay, but thank you so much. This is part 4 of Boldtrail, how to add a campaign. I hope you followed along. I hope it was easy, and you can comment down below if you have any questions. Thank you.